Hey 68, happy Monday. Just want to let you know I'm here to serve you. So if I can help you in any way, if you need a sarcastic comment to help you get on with your day, just let me know. Send me a message on Facebook, post something on my wall, and I'll do my best to honor you with a sarcastic comment as quickly as I can. So anyway, just a little encouragement to start off your Monday. If you need your pastor to care for you and love for you in that way, I'm happy to do that. We're in 1 John chapter 3, verse 11. Today we're going to look at how this passage applies to my relationship with God as we start off another week of daily coaching tips. Here we go, verse 11. For this is the message that you have heard from the beginning, that we should love one another. We should not be like Cain, who was of the evil one and murdered his brother. And why did he murder him? Because his own deeds were evil and his brother's righteous. Do not be surprised, brothers, that the world hates you. We know that we have passed out of death into life because we love the brothers. Whoever does not love abides in death. Everyone who hates his brother is a murderer, and you know that no murderer has eternal life abiding in him. And I just want to talk a little bit more about Cain and Abel. We spent some fair amount of time talking about both of those guys yesterday at church. It's in Genesis chapter 4 if you want to go read that account. I'm going to read into the text a little bit. This is not a good practice to do on a normal basis, but I feel like this is a solid application we can make based on that. And I wanted to look at some of maybe what Cain was feeling when he was outdone by his brother Abel and his sacrifice. And what I think could have been going on, some of Cain's feelings may have possibly been that, and again, this is my surmise. I'm adding this a little bit, so I wouldn't go building immaculate theologies based on what I'm about to say. Although this is accurate with other parts of the Bible, but I think what was happening was that Cain was trying to prove just how righteous he was, and then he was outdone by his brother Abel. And so I think Cain had kind of gone through this process of bringing together his grain, bringing together the fruit of the land that he had been working on, and he wanted to bring it to God. And his motivation, possibly, I could be wrong, but I think his motivation was to prove how righteous he was. And then when his offering was refused, it was not regarded as we read in Genesis chapter 4 by God, and Abel's sacrifice was regarded by God. That stirred up a rage in him because he thought he was doing something righteous and he was proving just how righteous he was, when in fact God said, no, that's not righteousness. What is righteousness is what Abel has done. And I think what can happen so many times in our relationship with God is that we want to prove that we are righteous. We want to have this evidence to the world around us. We want everyone to see that what we are doing is righteous. And I think this is a big point that Jesus makes when he's on earth, when he says, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. When you're giving your alms to the poor, when you're going in and you're helping somebody, don't do it in front of men to receive the reward. Instead, do it because it's the right thing to do. And I think this is integral to our understanding of what righteousness is. Righteousness is not driven by the affirmation that we get from people for having done the righteous deed. That's not the determination of righteousness. What's righteousness is what's right, and that's what God has decided. And the attitude in which that deed is done is also what makes something righteous. So when we're doing something for our own benefit, when we're doing something to look good, when we're doing something to prove to the world just how righteous we are, that's not righteousness. Because righteousness is not just action, but it's attitude. The attitude behind the action is important. So the action, even in itself, may be one that has been declared righteous by God, but the attitude behind it is incorrect. We're trying to prove and garner affections of people and of God. We're trying to maybe even appease God, but our attitude is incorrect. It's not to worship God. It's not because we want to exalt God and humble ourselves. It's because we want to exalt ourselves and exalt in our own righteousness. So I think that's one thing we got to be very careful of when we're approaching God, when we're approaching our relationship with God, is making sure our attitude is as it should be. Then the actions that flow out of that attitude will be righteousness. But if the attitude is wrong, if the underlying assumption behind why we're doing is wrong, then it's never going to be accepted by God as righteousness. So today, ask God to help you. Hey, what are the things in my life? Where are the attitudes off? Where are the things, the motivations wrong in me, where I'm doing something to get some kind of approval of men, to get even God's approval? And help me to see that my attitude needs to be adjusted and where it is, and fix it. And then ask God to help you from this point on have the right attitude that motivates the action. So there's one simple application I think we can make out of this passage on the first day of our coaching tips. Make sure you come back Tuesday for another daily coaching tip.